Hi, I'm Sara from Heirloom Creations, and look who I have here in our store. We have Alex from Aurifil Thread, and we've just done a couple thread presentations, so you have brought a ton of samples, and we have learned a lot about thread.
Hi, Sara. Thank you very much.
Good, and this is your first trip to South Dakota?
Yes, first time in South Dakota all over my life.
Yes, but you have been to now 35
different states in the last 4 years, and this is the number 15 just for the 2016.
That is awesome. So just the fact that people are learning about thread and seeing from an actual manufacturer. I know you showed us a video of lots of different steps that it takes to make thread. I had no idea that it takes so many times. I watched you wind the thread onto all these different processes. How many different things do you have to do to create a spool of thread?
We need 15 different steps to make a spool of thread. I can tell you which they are. Starting from the beginning, first we have to spin the thread. Then we double it because our threads are always 2 plies, so we have to take the 2 plies, just spin it and put one parallel to the other. Then we start to twist them, but this is the third step. Then after twisted, we have to fix the twist on the thread thanks to the thermofastening machine. And again, stepping forward, we put the threads, we use the singeing machine first in order to clean the threads by the hairs. This is one of the reasons when you use my threads, you don't find lint and foods.
And that is so important. I think that's why people have fallen in love with Aurifil thread. Yes, just so much. But it's you put it through fire. Yes.
Yes, we have to go very, very near, not too much, otherwise the cotton disappears.
Yeah, so you put it through, and that was something that you explained, is that this process done slowly is actually the best way. So it does take time for all these steps.
We always do slow every of our steps. Usually it's a cost because we produce less, but for sure we gain in quality.
Good. Okay, so after singeing, then we do?
Yes, after singeing we prepare to dye the threads. So first we put them on skeins because we always dye on skeins the threads. Then we do the process of mercerization. Mercerization is a process that is been discovered already many years ago, and usually you break the cells of the cotton thanks to the caustic soda, and in this way the cotton becomes more resistant and brilliant.
Oh, and it really makes a beautiful stitch when it's all done. And you make 6 different weights of thread. So what is your most popular weight of thread?
For sure the 50 weight is my bestseller.
Yes, okay, so if you aren't familiar with the colors, that's the orange one.
Yes, orange plastic thread holder.
Thank you for putting the colors on the end, because at a glance we can see if we're using the thicker thread or finer threads. So a lot of people use this for piecing, for applique. I just finished a quilt where I used it with machine quilting. And oh wow, what a nice finish. Now, what is the most popular color? These are the colors?
Yes, okay, we have the most popular color forever from the history of Aurifil, that is the color Ecru 2310. Instead, we have also the best seller of the last, 365 days, and is the light gray 2600.
Oh, good. Well, yes, and you can barely tell which one you're using when you actually just use it for piecing. But that's very interesting. Now, somebody asked in our class today, so many of us put the thread in our mouth and we lick it, and I mean, we have needle threaders these days, but sometimes we still do that. Is that safe with all the dyes that go in?
Yes, for sure, because we always make our threads in a way that do not contain any harmful substance. We have also a certification for this, because in Italy especially we work with the textile world. We have many customers that make things for kids or for babies, so we wanted to guarantee that, babies often put their clothes in their mouth, but even if a little one put the clothes in the mouth, there is no risk with our threads.
Yes, and Aurifil kind of started more back in the commercial world, where you still provide a lot of thread for...
Yes, for the fashion industry, bed linen, bathrobe. We have the most of this kind of industrial customer that are from Italy.
But now, really, a more popular part of your company, selling thread to the quilters.
Yes, the
Yes?
quilt market did rise a lot for us, so nowadays is the first one.
And you told a story where before you didn't even know what quilting was.
Yes, before the 2000, I never heard the word quilt in my life.
And you came to the United States to really
to
find
discover,
out.
yes.
And look what you discovered.
In
Yes.
Italy, we don't have tradition in really quilting.
Well, I actually had a question on the spool caps. Is this little orange part at the end actually comes off if you ever need it to. But some people always talk about switching it around, but it really doesn't matter anymore. Is that true?
Not anymore, because new technology in twisting give us the opportunity to use the spool in both sides.
So for those of you who've always asked which way the thread needs to come off the spool, that it really doesn't matter. Yes, because I watched in your video of the factory, they were just putting these on, but it didn't matter which way the spool was coming down that machine, was it? So good. What is the best way to store our thread?
Okay.
Keep it safe.
Yes. Usually, I suggest first thing to keep the spool wrapped till you don't use them.
Yes.
Then the threads don't like the light of the sun, for example. So I always suggest to keep them in a drawer or in a box. Sometimes visiting studio, I see all the shelves with with the spools. Spools are very nice for decoration, but of course, threads in this way get the dust, get the light, and probably they will last less.
So we do need to keep them kind of away.
Yes, keep them close.
How about the temperature? When we talk about the temperatures?
Temperature threads, what threads don't like is the exchange on the temperature. If it's always warm or if it's always cold, it's okay. What they don't like is the keeping change from cold to warm, and the same from the humidity, from dry to wet, and so on. So as the threads stay in the same condition as much as possible, they will last longer.
That is wonderful. That makes a lot of sense. So I guess I'm going home and putting my threads back in my drawers. Now we also have some thread collections. You work with a lot of quilt designers, and they have come up with collections with their own name on it. So do you want to show us some of these things?
Okay, as Aurifil, we cooperate with hundreds of designers, making thread collection that sometimes match with their fabrics, sometimes with their project, or sometimes are just the designer favorite colors.
Yes.
Here I have just a few samples to let you get the concept. Here we have a project by Sara Snuggerud. She is an artist from Arizona. This project is called Silk Stars.
That is beautiful.
And we have the Silk Stars thread collection with a selection of colors selected by Sara that she used to realize this artwork.
And now she is actually embroidering with her Aurifil thread. Yes, so we're seeing more of that it's not always just the shiny embroidery thread. People are crossing over and doing a lot more with the Aurifil thread brand.
People love to embroider with cotton.
Yes, and then your different weights, we do have some thicker threads these days and floss that we've been using. You have one more collection behind you with
okay.
Yes.
Here one and the box. Okay,
All right.
this is just the quilt.
Oh, very nice.
This is the last quilt I received. I'm a lucky person because many designers donate to me quilts. This is made by Tula Pink. Okay, it's quilted by Casey Johnson using Tula Pink fabrics and using the Aurifil threads to thread paint on this artwork.
And that is truly painted with thread in here. I know we're seeing the outside edge, but if you can, we'll show a close-up picture of this, and it is absolutely gorgeous here in the middle. And you also do some smaller spools too, so not only the large spools, but some of the smaller spools.
Here we have a small project for a bag. It's by Jenny Baker. She is an art gallery fabric designer. And here we have a thread collection in small spools. In this case, is 40 weight.
Yes. Good, and the weights do make a difference, whether it shows up a lot or more subtle.
Yes, we have four basic thread weight that are the 50, 40, 28, 12. Soon we will be provide also the 80 weight, very thin.
Oh, very fun. I just saw an email today on that.
This
Good.
will be for appliqué.
Yes. This particular collection, this is one of the Aurifil house collections where they pick some of the most popular colors. This one happens to be a wool collection. So those of you that are into some of the wool work that you can do by hand or with the different strands.
Yes, this is made with a wool thread. The wool thread is just one thread weight, that is 12, and is a thick one, and can be used by hand and by machine.
Yeah, so you'll have to check out, so your local or your favorite quilt designer could have their very own thread collection that you can pick up on your own. But I have something. I have actually made my very own thread collection. So I bought one of the blank Aurifil boxes of thread. This is kind of my colors as of late. So this has kind of been a special day because today is actually my birthday. So Alex has been here.
Happy birthday,
Thank
Sarah.
you so much. And I got to celebrate it with over 100 of our customers here. Would you sign my box? It would be so nice to have that as a souvenir. Oh, could you? I want you on front and center on that. Good. I am so excited. So if you ever have a chance to see Alex in person and to see the tour of the factory and how the thread is made, I think you'll have a much better understanding of how wonderful this thread is. And thank you so much for coming out to see us.
Thank you very much.
Good, thank you.